Tad prezentācija, cerams, ir redzama arī online dalībniekiem. Tātad, dear participants, I will try to speak English because my article is together with Professor Nesrin Akin from Turkey, and we prepare article about structuring of special purpose vehicle with the scope of public-private partnerships under Latvian and Turkish law. Professor Nesrin is from Istanbul, Doğuş University. And our topic is considered with some regulations of establishing. Okay. Okay, that establishing specific project company. That when we speak about infrastructure projects, such project company or special purpose vehicle, key features of the most transaction in Turkey and also in European Union, but its many aspects or challenges, especially considered with securitization, bankruptcy, risk transfer, and according to the Computer Authority, special purpose vehicle is considered fail under the definition of securitization special purpose vehicle, that how to transfer risk of bankruptcy from investor, from construction risk, technical risks, and so on. And also consider a financial security entity in order to meet increasing infrastructure needs of Turkey. It is generally accepted necessary to utilize alternative financing models to provide this participation of the private sector in addition of public resources. And framework of public-private partnership is considered to create company which put together state and private construction company, of course, and then one more participants, it's banks and also end users. About Latvian law, we have more than 10 years Latvian public-private partnership law, and there is definition of section 7. Joint venture may be established by performance of public-private partnership contract, and the public partner wishes to exercise reinforcement control of performance of public-private partnership contract and take part in management of capital company, and confirms the following provisions. And by Latvian law, we have on one side commercial law, other side many restrictions of public budgets, many restrictions of public procurement, and also administrative structure law. The question of delegating, giving power, giving authority to the private company or to the joint venture. And by Latvian law, we call joint venture will carry out administration tasks assigned to the public partner according to the laws and regulation procedure laid down by state administrative structure law. Valsts pārvaldes iekārtas likums, and this is also a question of public contracts and liability of the state. Establishing such special purpose vehicle is feature most of transactions also in Europe, and by Turkish law, scope of public-private partnerships, its contracting party model entitled to participate in the tender, and usually business partnership, which legally evaluate as ordinary partnership. That in theory, it can be 3 types of such special purpose vehicle. It can be partnership, it can be limit liability company, or joint stock company. Each type of them have some benefits and some challenges, or advantages and disadvantages. For common procurement, partnership, especially general partnership, benefits that partners can be more independent going together. For limit liability company, it can be problems that it's closed company and company cannot participate in stock market. For joint stock company, it's very good for like corporation or global corporation. it's good to take some investments from pension funds, from investment funds, but also very huge risk of lost in control by national government. If it is a lot of investors, then it always have huge risk of political disadvantage, political disagreement of people, of end users. In Turkey law, when I go last year in Istanbul, professor told that Turkish government said that all big infrastructure project is not private. The Turkish government said if it is infrastructure, then it is government, and it is government risk, government liability. That's why government always go and supply and give advice, give some benefits, some discounts for the private investors, especially connected with Bosphorus, especially connected with war of Ukraine, especially for the trade, which increased in accordance of last year. Then Turkish law said that infrastructure projects is a purpose or the interest of the government. More investments, more projects, more harbors, more public transport, and it's become government and government support regulation. Of course, we can discuss about level of democracy, level of protection of human rights, but by the role of special purpose vehicle, Turkish law said that we using a lot of clients, a lot of tourists, a lot of investors from other country also. When we speak about Latvian law, it's a Sarayan research paper before COVID time. In general idea, what's the idea of special purpose vehicle? Because you can see bank or finance and sale this company, and they're giving some bonds for investors, some relations, some contracts. And we can see them, the vast majority of the cases for the synthetic securitization section of restructuring, securitization are structured per value of such picture bank, which originated the assets, transfer in some way of company, and that's why if we have a risk of bankruptcy of this, the assets can go to the other company, other protection. And in accordance by Turkish law, that in many cases it's joint stock company, and compulsory conditions. Special purpose company is defined by Turkish law as a joint stock company established by constructor who is a party of contract to be signed with the contracting authority as a result of tender, where the field of activity is limited to subject of contract. And also by renovation and restructurization of facilities. Also in Turkish law involved also ministries, Ministry of Health, through the public-private partnership model and tender of construction for finalize, separate a new social purpose joint stock company must be established by constructor before a contract is signed. In the article of association of this company, the facility project to be realized and the work performed special as a field of activity. In a special purpose vehicle, it's existing two levels of control. One level is a tender or contract, and government like Latvian procurement supervision bureau or iepirkuma uzraudzības bureaus can control, and other is through the board of directors, through the council supervisory board inside this special purpose vehicle. Nowadays, we already listened today that many risks or many challenges coming from artificial intelligence, mass-language intellects, and also nowadays company law or commercial law or public procurement is not become complicated and become many databases, e-procurement, green procurement, and so on. And nowadays, some scientists said that the law should come together with technique. Law should work for the people. Also, the successful of such project, infrastructure project, is based on demand risk. For example, Turiba, Apveceļš, Turiba highway, that one of the biggest. It depends what happens, how many people will use this infrastructure. And as you can see, law should going through law design, law by design, and you can see what's the new need of law, that we need legal technological designers working on presenting complex information supply, efficient high quality procedures, case law studies, how to solve the conflict, what happens if in Kakava having some traffic or some reconstruction works or some stop traffic and so on. And settlement, prediction, little big data, and attorney client collaboration tools, and so on. And this law design, scientists said that in future we will have not law like a text, but we will have law like application like icons. Law like giving such a understandable, easy reading for people. And my idea, and it's not only mine, it's coming from theory of logic, theory of Aristotle. Aristotle called about 4 elements. 4 elements, it's water, water, yes? Water. We have earth or rigid, air, and fire, yes? And these 4 elements is coming together. They also put together the risk balance, risk elements, and we should put from 1 to 10 some points where it's harmony or restrictions happens. And for ordinary people, or it's easy to understand 4 elements. More complicated if it deals 9, 10, and so on elements. And in this diagram, you can see 4 risks, big types of risks. It's a technical risk, financial, demand, and legal risk. I put fire, it's connected with the technical risk of construction, quality of service. Air, it's a question of finance, of money. And land, it's a question of politics, demand risk. Should people use or should not use this infrastructure? And water, it's a kind of course, traditional legal aspects. And as I can see, we go into the end of my presentation. In conclusion, that what makes successful special purpose vehicle? It based by one of them by Turkish law. They said the basic fundament is also coming from constitution. That model, public-private partnership model for infrastructure is coming from constitution. And the legal relations have been prepared for criteria sectors, projects, distribution of public-private partnerships across the sectors have been limited to large-scale projects concentrated in the energy, transportation, health sector. There are no general framework. The private sector, which is one of the contracting parties of the public-private partnership model and entitled to participate as a tenderee, in Turkey, usually business partnership which is legally evaluated by ordinary partnership. That one of my conclusions that Europe, also Latvian, should understand that big projects, it doesn't matter, it's Kakava highway or it's maybe kindergarten or hospital. These projects mostly should be governed by public law, by government, and then we can decrease amount of the risk. And then, as you can see, land and fire or technical and people opinion should separate mostly ideas of tradition, mostly regulate the traditions of realized successful projects. Okay, thank you for your attention.